Hey guys, I'm Jen, Product Manager on Deathgarden BLOODHARVEST, and I am joined by my colleagues, and I'll let you guys introduce yourself.
I'm Matt, Design Director.
I'm Ash, the Creative Director.
And we are stoked to be here for the reboot of our game, which we've been working on for more than 8 months, and we are excited.
That trailer pumped me up.
Yeah,
Got
me
me ready.
too. And we are currently in free weekend, so people are literally already playing. But I'm sure they want to know more about what's going on in our game, so that's why we're here today.
That's true.
That is true. So I'm going to run you through our run of show, and then we're going to get started. So first of all, we're going to talk about everything that changed, everything that's new, and everything you should know about Deathgarden BLOODHARVEST. So we're going to cover the lore and the fantasy of the game, the new brutal and frantic gameplay, the 8 characters that we added into the game, as well as the power-up progression that we've been working on at the request of a lot of our previous players. And then we're going to play some matches, and they're going to be commentated by Matt and our community manager, Michael, which we will be joining later on.
And what's that thing at the bottom? What is it? Deathgarden?
It's the Deathgarden Bloodcast.
Nice.
The Bloodcast.
I was expecting a bit more blood curdling from both of you. But
Bloodcast.
We need the drum roll.
That's my goat
sounded
version.
like a goat.
Yeah, that's my goat version for it.
It's the goat.
It's the goat cast, I guess.
Well, we'll see, I guess.
We'll see.
We'll
That's
see.
true.
We haven't heard what Mikhail's got to say about that. He might get really bloodcast.
I can't go
Big
deep
fan.
enough for the...
That's okay.
Okay.
We can work on it.
Yeah, it's all about improving.
So let's kick it off with our introduction cinematic, and then we're going to be talking about the lore with Ash and Matt.
In the wake of the war, the world stood still. Society had reached its peak. Driven by greed, superpowers collided without restraint, leaving nothing but ruins behind. The victors built the enclaves, vast fortified cities of limitless resources, condemning the rest to live in the surrounding slums. Yet all the blood spilled during the war was not enough to quench the thirst of those in power. The Blood Harvest was created, a vicious and deadly trial that determines who's worthy of a better life. The only way to leave the slums and earn a place within the enclaves is to join the Blood Harvest, a trial that very few survive. Only those who enter the Deathgarden and prove themselves against terrible odds will ascend. But death lurks amongst the trees, always on the hunt. The hunters, gatekeepers of the enclaves, roam the Deathgarden, relentlessly killing on sight. Scavengers come by their thousands. In the Blood Harvest, you either hunt or bleed.
So as you can see, the future is dark, my friends.
It is indeed.
It's like King's Landing after Daenerys came by.
Exactly.
You don't want to be
Oh
there.
my god, you should have said spoilers. That's horrible. What have you done, Matt? It's like, there's
But
like
the
people...
statute of limitations, it's been like, what, a month now?
Almost. Let's go
What
with
have
that.
you done? No.
I think that's good.
I'm allowed? I'm allowed?
Sure.
You're allowed. Well, it's true. Let's go.
So
too late
I,
now.
Dark world. Dark
Too
world.
soon,
That's
too
all you have
soon.
to know. If we don't know that Game of Thrones is dark, it is dark all the
Yeah,
time. We
so-
are dark too.
the world has been split in 2. We
Yes.
have the hunters, we have the scavenger. Can you tell us more about it, please, Ash? Please
Sure.
tell us more.
So yes, end of a great war, as we know in the past that there are the hunters and the scavengers from the game. The hunters basically live in the enclaves. They're the guardians of these fortified cities that have all the resources of Earth. They want for nothing in there. They want for nothing food, medicine, long life, everything that they have in there. And they basically cast out the rest of society into the surrounding wasteland. And they are now charging them with a trial called the Blood Harvest to prove themselves worthy of entering into the enclaves. The goal being that it's to prove that you are worthy of society, that you are actually a worthy contender to be inside and gain access to these resources. So the hunters are there to try and protect the enclaves from having everyone come in, and the scavengers have to try and fight to get inside.
So it's quite a twisted trial that people have to take on when you decide to enter the Deathgarden. So why would the scavengers go into
Well,
there?
for them outside in the slums, it's a life of just survival. They're trying to get by. Their life expectancy is really low, and they know that inside the enclaves everything is there. So they're putting everything on the line to get inside. And inside the garden, once they take the contract to enter into the blood harvest, they're basically brutalized until they're either killed or they achieve acceptance into the enclave. So they'll go into each match of the blood harvest and they'll constantly be attacked, be brutalized, be killed and revived, and they can be reprinted and rebuilt and sent back in over and over again. So for them, it's this endless trial of pain until eventually they prove themselves worthy.
Or they become brain dead.
Or they eventually finally die, because there is a eventual concept of
This is
irreversible
horrible,
death.
Ash.
It's dark, but it's the way
A dark
society,
future, right? Am I
it's
right?
the way society has gone. It's like we've been through a period where they tried to make it work, and now they have fallen back on their old ways of just brutalizing each other for the sake of entertainment.
And it's not everyone that's in the enclave that is a hunter, correct?
No, absolutely not. Like, most people in the enclave are just there enjoying the spoils and riches of what's in there. The hunters very specifically see themselves as the gatekeepers. They're there to literally make sure that every scavenger who asks to come in is worthy of that goal. So in some ways they're a little bit more twisted than most of the people in the enclave, but they see it as like an honorable role to try and be these protectors.
And what is the importance of blood in our new game? As you guys probably realize by now, it's now called Deathgarden BLOODHARVEST,
Yeah.
so it's definitely central.
I think people realize
You
that.
think they, blood is,
Probably.
I
blood
trust
is-
them.
In the society, blood is really significant because, as I said, the scavengers get beaten up, brutalized, and get reprinted using organic printing materials to put new limbs on and bodies, and they keep getting patched up and sent back in. And eventually, when they get their irreversible death, at that point, their body is actually made up of a lot of valuable material in the blood. And extracting this blood, as you'll see in the game, is a key part of the game. And then making that offering back to the people that gave it to you is really the symbolic significance of saying, I am worthy. And the more blood you give back, the more you're trying to say you're worthy to the enclave. There you go.
Speaking of giving back blood and fighting over it and collecting it through getting some of the waste, which is basically the fallen scavengers, let's talk about the gameplay. The new frantic and brutal gameplay loop. First of all, there's a difference in perspective, right? Can we talk about that a little bit?
For sure. So we had this in the first game, but it bears mentioning again. So Deathgarden Blood Harvest is really two games in one. We have the scavenger experience, which is played in a third-person perspective, so you see your character. And then we have the hunter experience, which is played in a first-person perspective. So it's a first-person shooter. We all have seen these games. So this difference in perspective you'll see here, it really contributes to a lot of interesting moments that we're seeing when people play. The hunter can't see something that the scavenger can see. That contributes to a lot of close chases, near misses, things like that. It's fun to play. It's, more importantly, it's fun to watch.
It's very exciting indeed. When you're a scavenger, you're hidden, and you wonder, can I be safe? Am I being safe here?
That moment where you're not sure really
Yeah.
creates those unique moments.
Yeah, it's very stressful at that
So
point.
another thing I want to mention is the big difference between the previous game and the new one is all about collecting blood. So you'll see here, if we have a few shots of it, the scavengers have to try to collect as much blood as they can to open the exits. If they're capable and they can deliver 125, the exits will open early. If the hunter, on the other hand, can kill 4 scavengers, they'll open the exits early. So those are their goals. That was a blood pile that we just saw right there. But we'll explore that more when me and Michael commentate the match later, but I just wanted to mention that now.
And one other main thing that is now quite central to the game is the difference. Like, we basically embrace the asymmetry, right? There's no more direct opposition. It's like there's 5 scavengers, and there happens to be a hunter, and then their paths kind of cross, and then there's a little bit of tension and battle happening.
Yeah, a lot of tension, a lot of battling. So the thing is, what are the major thing we changed is, like as Jen mentioned, is so all the powers, what we're calling Vambrace powers that the scavengers have, do not directly oppose the hunter. So they allow the scavengers to get away. We have a smoke arrow. We have an invisibility arrow. So these are things that I can use on myself as a scavenger. I can also use on my scavenger friends to help them get out of a jam, but they don't directly oppose the hunter.
Yeah, so the hunter can really feel like an unstoppable force.
Yes.
And on the other side, the scavengers now have only one life.
Yes.
So it really adds a lot of drama and tension because you know that if you get downed, it may be the end for you.
It may be the end for you, but not necessarily. So it's up to the hunter to decide to execute a downed scavenger or not. The reason why they wouldn't is because they get a lot more XP the more downs they get before executing. So a really good hunter who wants to test their skills, well, they're not gonna execute you right away because they want that extra XP.
It really plays into the lore as well because the hunters want to make sure the scavengers are really worthy. So it's like you're letting them have, you are letting them have a second shot at it.
Exactly.
You're giving on a good show if other people are watching the Deathgarden.
But the one life also brings a real meaning to the scavenger gameplay as well, because it's now like, because as you'll learn about how we earn XP in the game, it's like, you know, the more risk you want to take, the more reward you're going to get. And it really works with the one life because the more you step out of your comfort zone, the more you're putting at risk the earnings that you're making or the potential earnings you can get in each game.
And another thing that you probably noticed by now is that the maps have changed quite a bit. We've overhauled our map system. We still have procedural maps, but we added 4 thematic procedural maps.
Exactly. So every map is unique, as you mentioned, procedural, but they all have a theme so you can kind of understand which map you're playing. So this is nice. It kind of gives a nice balance, we feel, between so you'll see here, these buildings here, the buildings necessarily don't change, but where they're placed and the construction of how they're placed together in the map is always different. So it's a nice balance of kind of learning the map and learning the things that go into the map, the atmosphere, the other things that go into it, and then every time you get in, it's a different experience.
And everything that we've added, all these set pieces are useful in different ways depending on how the procedural system throws them up. You know, they can all be used to get an extra vantage point to hide.
Yeah, you can see right
Some
here.
of them also, you know, being caught up there by the hunter is an extremely bad thing, for example. So they're all about, it's all about that kind of dynamic gameplay we want, about reading the situation and adjusting to the gameplay as you see it.
And there's some special elements in various maps. For example, in Blowout, one of my favorite elements is just the little, they're not called barrels, like the little circular tubes.
Oh, the tubes, yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
the
just
concrete,
go hide in them, and it's hilarious. Because once you're a hunter, you're like, there may be somebody here. And once, as a poacher, I put mines on both sides and just I waited for them to
That's
go
a really
into
good
my
point.
mines.
You know, knowing these objects, understanding that we've seen different strategies, people placing mines on top of buildings, underneath things where you couldn't necessarily easily see, the turrets on top of things to get a better vantage point. So we hope people will explore those ideas and obviously teach us a lot about how the strategies that we haven't even seen yet. I'm sure we'll see them today.
And now let's talk a bit about the characters, because that's another big part of the strategy that people will have to learn and learn to master as they start playing our game. We have 8 characters, 5 scavengers, 3 hunters, all with different powers and perks. You guys want to talk about it?
That's true.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we definitely wanted to include characters when we started thinking about how we wanted to do a progression system. We wanted to link that to having unique characters. We also wanted to use it as a way of driving home the lore and the backstory. We knew we were going to be set in these death gardens, these places between the enclaves and the slums, and we wanted to use these characters as a way of telling the stories of what life is like in the slums, where did they come from, how has society reached this point, again, from the hunter perspective, who are they and how have they come to this point. So that was a really powerful tool to help people get more grounded in the overall lore that we wanted to do. But even more than that, they also have unique loadouts as well. So each one is not only a unique character, but they have a unique gameplay style as well.
Yeah, so each character has 6 unique perks and 2 unique, what we're calling them unique bonuses, unique twice. So the perks level up, the unique bonuses do not. But they really give a third time's a charm. They give a unique feeling and gameplay to each of the characters. So what mood are you in the mood to playing, what kind of a player are you, you're going to gravitate towards one character or another character. You know, me personally, I like playing all of them, but I know that some people will have their specific play style that they like, and they'll play that character.
And I think again, goes back to the philosophy of the game about taking things as you want, the way you want to go. Like some people will try out all the characters, some people will try and mainline one, or pick, because of the unique bonuses, they'll pick a specific character. Like I picked Ink a lot because she has more stamina, which gives me an extra dodge roll, and because I'm more often than not found by the hunter for whatever reason, I need that extra escapability, whereas some people just prefer never to be found at all. And I think that's, you know, that's a really cool thing about the characters. They're all very interesting in the way that they play.
Yeah, and people can definitely start to discover them. For example, and we have some that are really, really new, like Switch with the clones, and she is hilarious.
Yeah, I love using the clones too. I mean,
Gets me killed all the time.
So basically, how that works is you fire your Vambrace shot anywhere, and it will create a version of yourself that'll run forward and hopefully distract the hunter, confuse the hunter.
Yeah, like we're going to be
see them
seeing
right
her
here,
just right now.
There we
So you
go.
can create little versions of yourself, and then you can learn their behavior, so you can pretend to be one of them.
Yeah.
It is quite entertaining.
But likewise, the hunters also have their own unique
course.
abilities and loadouts and backstories, and that's equally important in the balance between all of them and who you're playing and what character against what hunter and all those little things that make it interesting.
Yeah, so people can really select their character, but then they also have some bandwidth to select their loadouts. You have you have 6 perks to choose from. You can have 2 active at a time. Same thing with the powers. You can choose your powers as a scavenger. You got 2 to choose from.
1 at a time, 2 to choose from.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can try things out. But yeah, so let's talk about the progression now.
Sounds good. I like progression.
Yeah.
We all like
Progression's great.
progression.
We like progression.
Of course.
So really, every action counts in our game. In the previous version of Deathgarden, it was more of a competitive sport type thing. This is really about doing actions and getting rewarded for those actions. I won't go through them all here, but you mark a crate, you down a scavenger, you start a drone. We'll talk about drones later. That all gives you XP. So in a match, the more XP you earn in a match, you'll see there's a little widget at the bottom, and when you pass certain thresholds of that widget of XP in a match, you get resources. So resources allow you to buy upgrades to all of your perks, weapons, abilities, and powers. So, but we also have a system where, as you'll see here, where we have challenges. So not only do you need to get the XP to get the resources, which I just explained, but you also have to complete a challenge. So an example challenge might be complete 5 matches, or deliver 50 blood, or hack a crate, or whatever. So you'll see here. So this allows you to, it gives more weight to the progression. It's not just about collecting resources. You have to do these actions as well. And it kind of gives you a glimpse at different ways of playing the game, introduces you to different ways of playing the game, and kind of incentivizes you to try out maybe ways that you wouldn't have thought of before, and learn the game more that way. So we really feel like it adds a lot of depth to the game. And we also have weekly challenges.
Yeah, we also have weekly challenges that you can take on top of it to get different things. Sometimes it's going to be resources, sometimes it's going to be a little special something, which you'll see as we go. Maybe some cosmetics here and there. We have some secret plans.
What I really like about the challenge system, though, is that it again goes back to the idea that even though there are 5 scavengers and they are theoretically working together as a team, all the rewards are based on your individual actions. So everything that you do individually is going to reward you. So going out and setting your own personal goals for each match is something that you can very much do. You're not tied to the behavior of the team. You get rewards and bonuses for the way the team behaves, but the challenges are set by you. I have to do this. You know, if you deliver blood, you'll get XP for it. You'll get resources. I can level up the characters I've got. I think that's a really important thing, and it also means that you can take the game at the pace that you want to take it as. Because as a scavenger in Deathgarden, it is tough in the Blood Harvest. It is hard for scavengers to survive, but only if you're out to try and get as much XP as you possibly can get. I mean, the way the game works now is that there's a timer, that if the timer expires, the exits will open and you can walk out and bank your score. So really, you can just take it at whatever pace you want. You can just move from bush to bush and take your objectives as you want to do them.
That's your strategy, Ash.
Well, at the
Ash
early
usually just
days-
stands up.
and just gets. I like getting the
the way you
reward
try to
for-
hide too. I'm always like,
I know.
this is just out in the open right there.
Exactly. I love to hide in plain sight.
Yeah,
That's
it's
my
good.
tactic.
It's good strategy.
Use the first, third person. thing.
There you go. Using
know.
the first and third person
But
perspective.
but that's the thing. Like the game is all about we want it to be meaningful, getting a big score. We want it to be meaningful, getting to the exit, making that goal. Like achieving those goals is important. And you can achieve them either as a team or as an individual, but more so probably as an individual than as a team.
And you really
Those are
have-
like stretch goals later on for you.
And you really have the choice, like, you can make the game your main objective, but if you're really all about that progression and the challenges, you can decide this match, I'm just going to focus, for example, on hacking. And everything's going to be about that, and I'm going to hack the whole map, and I'm going to get my reveal challenges going and all that jazz, and it can really switch up how you play, you know? Or if you're,
totally.
like, losing a match, maybe it's time to sneak a couple of that progression challenge going. So there's really different approaches you can take about the game and the progression and putting your own goals.
Yeah. Just to be clear though, like we did work hard to make sure that individual goals also help the team. So it's you're not going to break anything by doing this. Like
No, it's designed to all work together. I mean, you might start out by marking a crate and getting yourself a little bit of XP.
But that helps your team.
But that marking alone helps your team, but perhaps not as much as shielding a person in the middle of the chase. It will give you an enormous reward, but might give your position away to the hunter who's chasing that person. It's kind of fun how it escalates and how as you take more risk, you get more reward until you finally make it to the end of the match and get the big rewards, which fast tracks your progression, etc., etc., etc.
So basically everything you do is going to feed into your progression, which we call the power-up progression. So you can power up your character, unlock more abilities, make them better, unlock new characters, and then really like explore the whole scope of the game.
Yeah. So each, if I didn't mention it before, each of the weapons, perks, and powers has 10 levels. Each, like I said, each requires a certain amount of currency and a challenge to complete. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk
We
about
might have more levels
what.
later. What? Did I say that out loud? Could they hear me?
Don't know. Maybe.
So let's talk about the short term. What's going to happen in the coming days, in the coming weeks? So first of all, we have a lot of changes in terms of pricing, and we have some deals and offers that we have for you. So let's talk a little bit about
Drum
that.
roll. Oh, it's too fast. Okay.
So we have the free weekend that is going on right now, all the way until June 2nd. It's on Steam, playable now. And we have decided to lower the price to $15 US for the regular edition. And you can see the other price points on the screen. But right now, for the next week,
There's
Yeah.
more.
it's on sale. So right now, the regular game is at only $9.99.
There you go.
And the deluxe edition is also on sale. And what's also interesting is that if you own Dead by Daylight, you have the Deathgarden plus Dead by Daylight bundle, you can actually get the game only for $5.49. And you'll get the 2 masks in both games that you're going to be able to wear with pride to show your support for both of our games. And one more thing, no matter which copy you buy, regular, deluxe, or the bundle, you're going to get a second copy for this week while we're on sale that you can give away to a friend. So spread the love,
Or
make
like
new
me,
friends.
Like me, I have no friends. I use that copy and I give it away, and then I make a new friend.
Yeah, make new friends with those copies.
First friend. Here we go.
Making friends in the Blood Harvest. Perfect.
And one more thing you might notice at the top of the screen is that we have the Terminator in the game.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's also on sale. And let's look at this cool video we got of Terminator. That wasn't the video. That was
The
a
video.
trick.
It
We
was-
were
it was
testing. That
yeah,
was
If
Terminator.
you ever wanted to be hunted by the T-800 in a game, then now you can, and it is scary.
He's got a great dentist. I
Yes.
said it before, but
And if you want to be the T-800, you can also be the T-800.
Yes.
He's a full-on mesh and skin attached to Poacher. So he has the same progression, the same weapons, but a full, complete mesh and a cool song that you'll get.
He's got cool music in the locker room. It's fun.
very fun.
Give you
So
a
It's
you-
quite
good,
scary to be hunted by him.
It
Yeah.
is. It's like suddenly, like, I don't know, the flashbacks come back from
Yeah.
the movie. But it's good. It's a
So
good
you
one
may
too.
meet the Terminator in the garden.
I
We hope
expect
so.
you will.
So before we transition to the Bloodcast,
Nice.
I
save mine
just
for
want to
later.
give a quick shout out to the whole dev team, of course, as well as everybody
Yes.
who supported us all the way up till here. We have the Garden Gnomes in the background, which is our community, a secret Discord community that
Yeah.
has helped us through the whole reboot. And thank you for tuning in. And
Thank
now,
you.
let's check out the Bloodcast.
Seriously, thank you.
Yes. You are a hunter, guardian of the Enclave and harbinger of death for the unworthy who dare to challenge you. Only one question crosses your mind. How many can you kill? In each match, you'll try to track and kill as many scavengers as you can before the timer expires. To kill scavengers, you first need to down them by damaging them enough so that they fall to the ground and are forced to crawl. Once scavengers are downed, you can get near them and proceed to execute them. If you succeed in killing 4 out of the 5 scavengers, the exit spawn and blood mode is activated. Blood mode always happens when the exits appear and reveals the remaining scavengers to you. At this point, it becomes a matter of catching your prey before they reach the exits. If you can't manage to get those 4 kills, the exits will appear once the timer expires. Or if the scavengers successfully deliver enough blood to the blood banks. Scavengers will try to avoid you at all costs, and finding them will require you to make good use of your tracking tools and traps. Drones populate the Deathgarden and are one of the primary tools the hunter should use to track scavengers. To power them up, you need to collect power cores from blue crates and use them to activate the drones. The machines will rise and hover in the air, projecting a red cone that detects any scavenger in the area, even through walls or in tunnels. Used wisely, drones can impair scavenger movement drastically and flush them out of hiding. Keep in mind that scavengers can disable a drone, but only for a short period of time. Drones will repair themselves and boot up again on their own. Blood banks can be used as beacons, notifying you of the scavenger's whereabouts. There are 3 blood banks on each map, and you can always see their location on your HUD. When scavengers deliver blood to a blood bank, the structure emits a distinctive red flare in the sky and blood veins appear on the ground. Find the source of the flare and you'll know where to look for your next kill. You can also set traps in the Deathgarden by hacking crates. To hack a crate, simply shoot at it until the hack meter is full. If scavengers try to pick up the contents of a hacked crate, they are revealed to you, giving you an opportunity to unleash all your firepower on them. Each hunter originates from a very different place, but they have all been forged through blood and violence. The Inquisitor does all his killing in the name of the Pure, a secretive, fanatical group dedicated to eradicating all those deemed impure. He uses anti-personnel turrets and carries the Snakebite assault rifle and the Mauler 190 shotgun. The Stalker believes she is in symbiosis with the Deathgarden, and now stalks her prey quietly, vanishing in plain sight thanks to her fade power. The Stalker carries the core design TTX-22 sniper rifle and the tri-synced 45C burst rifle. The Poacher considers himself the gatekeeper, stopping incursions with ruthless efficiency. He views scavengers as trespassers on his sacred land. He uses proximity mines to set traps and catch unsuspecting scavengers. The Poacher carries the Passam Hacksaw T24 LMG and the Jasper 67V auto shotgun. All hunters can unlock a third alternate weapon through the progression system. Scavengers are fast and agile and will try and break your line of sight, making chasing and shooting them a challenging task. Luckily, your battle suit comes equipped with 2 additional abilities that are more than handy in those situations. Supercharge gives you a powerful speed boost, often needed to jump over high cliffs, close distances during a chase, or soar over the map to reach a faraway blood bank. Supercharge is demanding on your suit, so keep an eye on your stamina gauge. When in close proximity to a scavenger, you can also use your shock ability to briefly stun your prey or force them out of hiding. Shock also damages scavengers, but has a cooldown time. Scavengers carry with them unique vambrace powers used to throw you off track. If you want to learn more about your adversaries, we recommend that you watch our Scavenger 101 trailer. Whether it's the long, winding river of Salt Creek, the fiery oil rigs of Blowout, the silent graveyard of Tombstone, or the ruined city of First Strike, each map is generated procedurally and supports its own thematic. The ever-changing layouts force you to adapt your playstyle and demand you learn your surroundings. Multiple crates are scattered around the garden. They are easily distinguishable according to their color. Yellow crates contain your gun's ammunition. Blue crates hold power cores used to activate drones. Red crates heal scavengers, but you can deny them. When a golden crate appears, reach it before it vanishes, and this crate will provide short-term buffs that will help whoever picks it up first. Almost every action you take in the garden will be rewarded with XP and resources, which in turn will let you upgrade your characters and loadout. Downing and executing scavengers are the obvious and most effective way to gather rewards. However, the more you're actively hunting and tracking, the more XP and resources you will get. Stay active when no scavengers are inbound. Hack crates, activate drones, set your constructs, and don't forget to use your different abilities when you get into a chase. All rewards feed your progression. However, one more condition must be met in order to upgrade your character. You'll have to take on challenges related to the perks and powers or guns you want to enhance. To have access to the full list of perks and powers, visit the technician who stands at his booth in the locker room. And don't forget to select your perks and power in the loadout screen before entering the match. As Deathgarden grows, you will meet new hunters and scavengers, experiment with fresh maps and weapons, and partake in additional challenges and seasonal events, all of which will enrich your experience. The Enclave needs you to be ruthless and cunning, the best there is. Keep those scavengers at bay and be a glorious defender of the lucky few.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Michael, your community manager, and well, you know this guy.
My name is Rudiger.
Rudiger.
What?
Right there.
They can read. They saw me before.
I know.
Maybe it's because of my camo. Am I hidden?
I think you are hidden. Especially now that we're in the locker room, you blend in.
Ooh, locker room.
We are in the new scavenger locker room.
Yeah.
And
nice.
from the locker room, we will commentate on a couple of games. And
Nice. I'm excited.
So
Who do we have first? What's our first match?
so we have a hunter match. We're going to be looking at a match by one of our colleagues, Trollo Low, and he's going to be playing the Inquisitor. So we're going to see.
Excellent choice.
Yep. Very good first-time hunter. I believe that's.
Well, it's not his first time playing.
No, not him. It's the first character you have access to, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
Yep.
true.
And there you go. So.
Are you ready?
I was born ready, man.
Oh, I like those words. So let's see the match.
All
He's
right.
preparing for the Blood Harvest. I hope he's prepared,
I
because the
hope-
timer's over. And here we are.
They're generating the arena. So as you
So-
guys know, it's still procedural, despite it being in thematic map. So right now we're in Tombstone.
I wonder how he's going to use his turrets. He's been known to use them quite well.
Yeah.
Same kind of strategy he employs in this match. And he's gone for the Snakebite Assault Rifle. And he's made a decision to use the Tri-Sync Burst Rifle, which is not the default weapon.
No.
It's not the second default weapon. So we'll see how he uses that.
I just love the accuracy on the
Oh, it's great.
The
It's
Tri-Sync.
great.
It's awesome.
It's great.
It's really cool. So now, what is he doing, Matt?
So he's starting off by collecting some power cores. So power cores allow you to power up drones. You just did one right there. So the drone will create an area of effect, which you can see here in red, and that will reveal any scavenger caught in it.
So
Drones can also be shot down, but only for a limited time. So once that drone is up there, it's basically up there for the entire match,
Right.
Unless it's been basically turned off essentially by scavengers.
But that's only a temporary effect.
It's a temporary thing, and it'll come back after a time.
So you don't need to like.
You don't need to yeah. And also you can use, oftentimes a good hunter will, oh, there's some
there you
damage
go.
going over here.
The turret. Oh, the turret's down.
Turret's
I
been
believe.
down.
Oof.
It's a chase.
Ooh, that's ink right there. The shield, that's her starting power. Ooh.
Yeah, using the shield, which is good. Oh, didn't quite get there in time.
There's the
She got
down-
away.
I think it was a down drone as well. So she shot down the drone to avoid the drone zone and getting over here.
The drone zone is deadly for the scav. Oh, there's somebody else behind here.
So that is Switch. She is our clone master, so she can create copies of herself. Does she create copies?
No copies on that one.
No. There you go. Oh.
Maybe she didn't have enough power cores.
So why didn't the hunter execute Switch?
So yes, a good question. So the hunter can always execute a downed scavenger, but they might not necessarily want to do so because every single down without an execution increases the amount of XP earned from that execution.
Right.
So if you want to challenge yourself, you're going to go for those downs without executing.
And if you want to reap as many rewards
And if you want to reap
possible.
the most amount of rewards, that's how you play the game.
So that's a downed drone right there. So that's our friend Fog. Ooh,
Oh,
there you go. Will he
caught
be
up.
down? Will he
Caught
be
up with
down?
fog.
Oh, down he goes. Boom. Boom. Yeah, there you go. So see, you should see the
Well,
is
he
gonna
didn't
walk
even
up? No,
go. He
walk
didn't even
up.
go to
So he
execute.
knows
He knows.
he's building up that
Oh.
revived too, and then the drone goes back up. There he is, revealed by the drone zone. Oh, that's Switch actually. Oh, fuck.
Someone else, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he didn't
Ran
have
out
enough
of stamina.
supercharge. Yeah.
so that's one cool thing. The hunter.
There's more than one cool thing.
I know, but that's one really cool thing. The hunter shock used to take up stamina and no longer does. Now
No
it's
longer,
only
yeah, it's-
cooldown.
Exactly.
Cool based.
It's cool based, man.
Cool based because that's it. Is that the same?
So yeah, we have 6.5 second cooldown on the. Wow.
See?
On the, oh, there we go. So they've gotten
down.
3 downs. He's decided to start executing. So really, what you want to do as a hunter is determine how much time you have left.
Right.
What are your, how much risk do you want to take? But if you're 4 minutes in and you've downed nobody, maybe it's wise to start executing right away. If you're a minute in and you've downed someone, let them go. These are things that you're going to determine as a hunter player that's the right call for you to make.
Stuck in the trees.
Oh, he's going to get
So
there.
close.
He's going to get there. No,
What do you think about this?
snuck
Oh,
away.
turrets.
Good turret placement, though.
So what's cool about the turrets is they're heat-seeking turrets. So whether a scavenger is invisible or hidden in Fog's smoke screen, the hunter's turret will be able to pick up
Exactly.
scavenger.
You can take down turrets using your regular Van Brace or your regular bolts. Or someone's jumping over there. Fog.
He's going down. Think he's going down? Oh my God. Okay.
I don't know. This could end either way. He could get away.
How's he going?
Looks like he might have gotten away on that one.
So up goes
Drone. See,
the
this is a good use of drones here. So, person kind of got away. Throw up a drone. Maybe the scavenger's still in the area. If they're not, they're not there. And if they are, well, they're revealed to you.
Good for you. And if you see the scavenger trying to shoot, there you go. Boom.
Trying to deliver.
60% of the objective. That's what you were telling. That's what you were talking about during the stream, right? So if you're at 60% of the 125, I can't math today, so I don't know how much blood that is.
Yeah, this is just an indicator to help the hunter understand how far along. Oh my goodness!
Down he goes. And ×4 execution. So it doesn't reset
It does not reset. It's basically giving, since there's 5, the maximum stack is 5.
Right.
And we have 5 scavengers. It's basically like saying that everyone has 1 extra life, essentially.
Yeah. It's an optional life.
An optional life, yeah. So we'll also talk about, I don't know if you noticed there was a widget, we call them widgets, game dev chat. It's a widget. in the middle of the screen when the hunter or scavenger will do anything to give them points. See,
Right
so
there.
a drone reveal. So you'll see the widget pops up. It kind of indicates to you how far along you are on your progression in that particular match for XP. So every time you pass a threshold, we have 4 of them, you get resource rewards. And you'll see one here
I believe so.
if there's a down.
Must reload.
Oh my goodness.
So there you go. So
Yeah.
you cross into the next.
Yeah, that next tier. So like we said, we have 4 tiers, and every time you cross a tier, you'll see there's a reward at the bottom of your screen. So really, as a player, scavenger or hunter, what you really want to be doing is maximizing your XP to get those resource rewards to allow you to purchase upgrades to all of your abilities.
Yes. And so, what kind of upgrades would you recommend for this guy right here? There for the rifle. What kind of upgrades can
Oh,
be?
well, each weapon has a unique set of upgrades. They have 10 levels. They're generally based around one statistic, and that one or two, and that statistic will continue to increase as.
Oh, he was just waiting for the.
He was just waiting for it. So that statistic, or the multiple statistics, will grow from level 1 to level 10 as you level it up.
Right.
But you'll see I hope we have the end of the match here. You'll see the kind of, here we are. So it breaks down all the XP that you've gotten. It's a bit fast, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You'll play the game and you'll see that. So
Yeah.
a lot of different things earn XP. Some earn more than others. But you really want to be crossing those thresholds. And when you complete the entire bar, you get an extra reward.
Right.
So you want to be doing that as much as possible in a match. Like I said before, getting those resources, spending them. Here, exactly. So we've separated all the XP into different categories, and to compare yourself to others and see how well you've done. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Sweet.
So we have next.
So next, so you just saw the Inquisitor's perspective. We're gonna switch over to the Scavenger's side. We're gonna hop between the different cameras so we can see different characters in action. You'll get to see their abilities, how they interact with the hunter, and how they interact with themselves. So will we see team play? Let's find out.
I'm sure we will.
I'm sure.
I'm sure. So here we are.
You know, just doing our thing.
So we got a switch. We have a Sawbones. Who else do we have? I missed that. We have a Fog, I think.
We have a Shamer.
I think he's playing Fog.
No, he's playing Ghost.
Is he? I can't.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Confirmed. Ghost confirmed. So, what's that?
So yeah, so
collect
these
ammo
are so this is, as I mentioned before earlier in the stream, these are our challenges. So challenges are required to progress your perks and powers up to the next level, as well as the currencies, as well as the resources, excuse me, that we talked about. So I will see another one. It goes a bit fast. It's fine in the game, but here we'll see another one. Anyway, the point is, you need to complete those challenges.
Yeah, and you're gonna see a little pop-up.
Yeah,
on
the little
right of
pop-up
your
to
screen.
remind you what
your
challenge
progress.
you're on and the progress. You can always open up your menu and you'll be able to see that progress if you want to kind of consult it. Oh! Got there in time.
damn.
That was a risky maneuver,
That was risky.
Destroying a drone that the hunter is trying to put up is always risky, but it has a huge payoff.
It's high risk, high reward, right? So the hunter will know from where you're shooting.
Yeah.
Because there's a little tracer behind your bolt. Oh my god. Oh wow. Clutch. Oh my god.
Heal. Oh no! Oh, very good work though.
That was a close one. That was a really close one.
So the hunters decided to let the scavenger survive on this one.
Yep, exactly.
Could have executed them.
Trololo is an experienced hunter, so he's probably gonna try to farm those kills as much as possible, and then when he thinks he's got enough,
Looks like who will do this?
Oh.
Didn't want the revive.
No, he didn't want to
Wanted to
give
do it
XP. Yeah,
himself.
like, I got this. I don't need you.
I don't need you.
So now
So
we got
each scavenger has a full 2-minute bleed out. So that allows them, if this hunter chooses not to execute them, that allows them quite a bit of time to get to a healing crate to resurrect themselves, as you saw there, or to be resurrected, revived by another scavenger, either manually or through Sawbones has the ability to revive at distance.
Yeah.
Through her Vambrace shot.
So can Sawbones resurrect someone that's being executed?
So once the execution starts, there's no way to resurrect them. So this was just a way to make sure that there wasn't any kind of like frustration,
Right.
cheesiness, or what have you.
Oh.
But if wow, what kind of risk were you taking? I like it though. So you do get quite a bit of XP by being near a hunter in a chase and escaping. So
Right.
there is a strategy, a gameplay to a scavenger where if you don't deliver blood, let's say, or as much, but you focus on kind of entangling yourself with the hunter, getting the hunter to waste their time with you, and allows your teammates to deliver more blood or escape or what have you. It's an effective strategy.
Yeah, because we really wanted players to have like
Different ways
exactly.
of playing.
So there's different approaches to how you want to enter the garden.
So this is where we collect blood. Oh, he's already full. So he's not gonna, he has 10. So 10 is the maximum blood you can carry.
Okay.
And you deliver it here by standing in the zone. And you see you get quite a bit of XP because it's a high risk maneuver. And there you go. There's
Yeah.
some clones being used.
Because I don't think we've mentioned this, but when scavengers deliver blood, there's a huge like spire of blood that goes to
so
the
this
sky.
exactly. So there's a VFX on the screen that indicates cam pow
has
is
it
down.
begun? The executions have begun, I believe. Yes, sir.
So there's a VFX that appears on the floor, on the ground, I should say, and in the sky to help the hunter understand where the blood is being delivered. And
Right.
the more blood that's being delivered, kind of faster it pulsates, kind of give them an indication of where to go.
Without necessarily pointing.
Being directly pointing. So that's part of the hunter skill is learning that and understanding that.
Yeah, keeping an eye out for
Yeah.
look at the sky.
So we have two, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, we have two sets of ammo. So the first one that's being used right here, that's Fog's, oh my goodness, Fog,
No.
holy cow. Decimated.
Tripped in the drone.
So you see here it being picked up, that the power core crates are the blue crates, and that gives you your Vambrace shot. So for Sawbones, it's healing, for Fog, it's a smoke arrow. And then we have another type of ammunition, which comes from the yellow crates, which is just basic bolts.
Right, so to get out of a tricky situation, say a drone's in your face or a turret.
So a basic bolt can destroy a drone, it can destroy a turret, it can destroy mines, it can also mark crates. So those are two types of ammunition here. So you want to be full on both, hopefully. And the shots from the power cores, you have a maximum of 3. And then for the regular bullets, you have a maximum of 20, but some characters have an ability to go higher.
Right. I believe it's Fog who has that ability to get more.
Exactly. He's very powerful against constructs. Anyway, people will be able to explore all these unique abilities. It's pretty, like we said before, each character is very unique, and we really wanted to provide a different play style for each of the different characters. Wow, that was just gross. Okay, so how many?
112.
Oh, it's a close match. We got scavengers are nearly opening the exits. So what we're calling this is a domination. So if the scavengers are able to deliver 125 blood, we're calling it scavenger domination. And if the hunter is able to down 4 of the 5 scavengers, that's a hunter domination.
And what does domination do exactly?
So domination gives you an extra XP reward for everyone on your team.
All right.
To reward you for doing that stuff. It also opens the exits.
Okay.
And when the exits are open, what happens is we're calling it blood mode. And so in blood mode, 2 exits will be revealed, but they won't be open just yet.
Okay.
And a wave of reveal effect, we'll call it, emanates from each of these 2 exits.
Right.
If it doesn't touch you, you're not revealed. But the minute it touches you, you're going to be revealed.
Okay.
So you have to know how far are you going to be away from the exit when this reveal drone, when the reveal effect aura spawns. And
there you
here,
go.
so the scavenger's dominated, and you'll see here the exits will show. It'll show you where the exits are. but they won't come down for 20 seconds. So you have to survive for 20 seconds until those exits are actually open to walk through them.
There we go.
Oh, he's gonna revive himself.
Very lucky.
She's gonna revive herself, excuse me.
And
Look, the exit's close to the 100%. Turrets.
Run.
Is she gonna make it? Oh, she
Ragdolls into.
Oh,
So
she got
close.
executed. Very close ending. So we're seeing a lot of these close endings. Sometimes you can
That's
get out
cool.
if the hunter isn't nearby.
You can
but
crawl.
You can crawl through the exit.
Right.
But oftentimes you get caught.
Yeah, there you go. And why? So you said that if the scavengers spawn the exits, what would incentivize you to exit and not stay behind and try to gather more blood?
So you can gather a little bit more blood.
Right.
The amount of blood that you have, if you're able to escape, gives you a bit more XP. So
Okay.
there's a reward there. Why would you want to stay around? Because you can get killed and executed, and you get an XP reward for escaping.
Aha.
You
There
also
you
get
go.
an XP reward for escaping with blood. So you don't want to stay around too long because you could risk losing
Potentially,
that.
yeah. Because we didn't mention it, but all the drones go up during that blood mode, and
Well, there's this reveal.
Yeah.
There's this reveal cone that comes out. We feel like it's an exciting moment. We hope people like it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
well, you'll get to check it out for yourselves because we are live right now. There's a free weekend going on until June 2nd, and so go try it out. If you purchase a copy of the game, then don't forget you can give it away to one of your friends.
2 copies.
2 copies.
I got 2 jobs.
2 jobs?
Remember that ad?
No, I do not remember that.
See,
ad.
I'm old.
So, well, that will be all for today, guys. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Big shout out again to our community who's been with us
Yes.
since the beginning. We couldn't have done this without you guys, so your help was tremendous.
Yes.
And yeah, we appreciate it. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Matt, for the great commentating.
Thanks,
and for
Michael.
explaining
Good
the
stuff.
ropes
I
of
hope I
PG.
explained a little bit. It was fast. Please get out there and play and give us feedback. That's what we want.
Yep, we'll see you there. Ciao, guys.
You are a scavenger from the slums, trying to escape a life of endless misery. No matter why you take part in the Blood Harvest, your objective is the same: to evade the hunter's onslaught and escape the garden. As a scavenger, there are 2 ways you can escape the Deathgarden: deliver blood or survive. If you manage to deliver enough blood units as a group, you will trigger the exits that allow you to escape. To deliver blood, you must extract it from body piles scattered across the Deathgarden. Once you've filled your tank, deliver the blood to one of the 3 blood banks in the map. Remember that banking blood makes your position visible to the hunter. An alternative way to escape the Deathgarden is to survive until the timer expires at the end of the match, or if you're the last scavenger standing. When this happens, the garden exits are automatically triggered. Keep in mind that no matter how the exit gates are triggered, the blood mode is activated. While in blood mode, the scavengers are revealed to the hunter, which means you'll have to make a run for it if you want to survive. Outmaneuvering the hunter is critical to a scavenger's chances of survival. To evade the hunter, you can jump, climb, or roll out of their line of sight. Hiding at the critical moment will ensure your survival. Bushes, boulders, and tree trunks make for good hiding spots. However, the hunter has constructs which force you out of hiding, using their turrets, mines, and the drones that populate the garden. Once activated, drones hover in the air, revealing every scavenger in the area. Also, if you hide in the same spot for too long, your position will be revealed to the hunter. Hunters can also set traps by hacking crates. If triggered, you will be revealed. Watch out for crates with a red shimmer. Knowing which tactics and weapons the hunters have at their disposal will give you an edge as a scavenger. We suggest that you watch our Hunter 101 video to improve your chances of survival. To overcome the odds stacked against them, scavengers are equipped with a vambrace. This useful device fires bolts that take down the hunter constructs and disable drones for a short period of time. It also enables you to highlight important objects for every scavenger to see. Each scavenger carries their own powered bolts imbued with energy that can turn their impending death into a clutch escape. Fog, a Russian-born scavenger who vowed to destroy the Enclaves, uses a cloud of particles to shroud the hunter's vision and to grant scavengers a precious split second needed to escape. Inked, a tattoo enthusiast scavenger, uses the biometrics etched on her skin to boost her constitution. She also has shield bolts that give scavengers an extra layer of protection when they're within range. Ghost entered the garden after a failed assassination attempt. He's now using his active camouflage bolts to blend into the background and escape from the hunter's grasp. Sawbones was tending to the wounded from the slums when her makeshift hospital was destroyed by Enclave's factions. She now helps the scavengers in the garden using her powered bolts to heal and revive them and help avoid execution. Rumor says Switch entered the garden willingly and replaces her limbs by artificial parts to sell them and make a profit once she escapes. She uses her clone bolts to throw the hunter off her trail. Whether it's the long, winding river of Salt Creek, the fiery oil rigs of Blowout, the silent graveyard of Tombstone, or the ruined city of First Strike, each map is generated procedurally and supports its own thematic. The ever-changing layouts force you to adapt your playstyle and demand you learn your surroundings. Multiple crates are scattered all around the garden. They help you accomplish your objectives and stay alive. They are easily distinguishable according to color. Yellow crates contain standard bolts that help you destroy the hunter's constructs and mark up different objects. Blue crates supply power cores that charge your bolts with your specific power. You can only carry a limited number of powered bolts, so use them wisely. Red crates heal you. Remember, being downed by the hunter does not mean it's over. You might still be able to crawl to a nearby red health crate and avoid execution. When a golden crate appears, reach it before it vanishes, and this crate will provide short-term buffs that will help whoever picks it up first. Whether you survive or not, almost every action you take in the garden will be rewarded with XP and resources, which in turn will let you upgrade your characters and loadout. Triggering the exits early in a match is a lucrative way to earn rewards, but so is delivering blood, even if you don't have enough units to make the exits appear. Additionally, rescuing a fellow scavenger from impending death, shooting down drones, highlighting objects, escaping chases, being the last scavenger standing, and many other actions will grant you a considerable amount of XP and resources. All rewards feed your progression. However, one more condition must be met in order to upgrade your character. You'll have to take on challenges related to which perks and powers you want to enhance. To have access to the full list of perks and powers, visit the technician who stands at his booth in the locker room. As Deathgarden grows, you will meet new scavengers and hunters, experiment with fresh maps and weapons, and partake in additional challenges and seasonal events, all of which will enrich your experience. Who knows, maybe you'll be the one who reaches the Enclave.